Hey YouTube community, I'm coming at you again, and today I have a very interesting case. It's a retired nurse that's been suffering for decades and decades and decades, and then finally she reaches out for some alternative healthcare besides the conventional system. So I wanted to kind of go over this case because I think it's going to shed a lot of light on this case. She comes from the medical profession. She's a retired nurse, loves people, and just wants to get better. And all these things I'm going to go over right now have been completely missed in her case. Now, if you're watching this video, if you're watching it on YouTube, if you could do me a huge favor, down below you're going to see a thumbs up. If you could give me a thumbs up, that would be great. Or if you could subscribe to my station, that would even be better. That just really gets the content out of there, and you'll be surprised now with YouTube. YouTube knows everything, and they want to make sure that these videos are getting enjoyed and being liked, and then more people can get this information and more people can recover from chronic degenerative conditions. Today we're going to be talking about mold, chronic inflammation, and really getting a polytherapy approach so you can get well. So let's get into this gal's labs ASAP right now. So what you're going to be looking at here is we did a variety of different labs on her. Now, one of the things is this is a urine test, organic acid test. So the testing that I did on her was I did extensive blood work, and then I did an organic acid test with mold. So now what you're looking at here, mold is very dangerous substance. I mean, mold has been around since cockroaches, right? Cockroaches don't die. If you have mold in your body, this is causing chronic inflammatory process, chronic conditions in your body. And guess what? In the conventional system, no one is checking for mold. If you're out there and you're suffering from a chronic condition, you need to check for mold. It's that simple. Because if you don't get checked for mold and you actually have mold, no matter what you do, you're not going to get well. You can spend $100,000 on your case, but if you have mold and it goes undetected, you're just not going to get well, man. So let's do some basic testing. This testing is not expensive. Every human being can get this testing to rule out mold. So we did this, and her name is Jennifer. Now, this is the Myotox test from Great Plains. Now, I just want to bring your attention down to this. This is the gliotoxin right here. Now, you can see here, this is her graph right here. We want to see this less than 200. What she's at right here, she's at 25,539. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to this, you are seeing this right now, 25,539. 25,000 is her mold. So what does this measure? So this is a urine sample. So if it's in your urine, where's it at? It's in your blood. If it's in your blood, what's it doing? It's killing everything. It's causing chronic inflammation in your body and can go unknown. And this can go unknown in your body and you continue to suffer. So this is a game changer. And I just literally got this test back today. This is the one test I was waiting on. She has massive inflammation. I'm like, I bet you, Jennifer, that you have mold. And bam, what happens? There's mold there. So now we have to go down, setting up a protocol, figuring out where the mold is coming from. Is it a current exposure? Is it a past exposure? But at least now we have something that we know for sure that's in her body that has gone 60 years with no investigation. Okay, then we also checked for, this is also the organic acid test, and you can see arabinose. This is yeast, all right? So what happens is when you have mold, yeast can grow. Basically, they're unchecked. They just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. And you can see here, this is, we want it less than 29, and she's at 95. So what do we find right now? We found that she has crazy amounts of mold, and mold is a severe neurotoxin in your body. And on top, she has yeast. Now, guess what yeast produces as a byproduct? Alcohol. So people walk around in life like they're half drunk because they have mold, or excuse me, because they have yeast, because of mold, because the mold allows the yeast to grow. Then we checked for her inflammatory markers. I check a lot of different things. Now, one of the things that we checked is what we call CRP, which stands for C-reactive protein, which is a protein produced by your liver when your body is inflamed. C-reactive protein right here. You can see that. Now, check this out. 72, ladies and gentlemen. Look down here. Anything above 3, you are considered at what? Cardiovascular heart attacks, your increased risk for future cardiovascular disease. She's at what? She's at 73. 73. This is, or 72. This is insanely high. I never saw a marker this high. I called her up and was like, Jennifer, you need to get to the medical doctor right away and make sure you don't have any weird acute disease going on. Of course, she went there and nothing came back negative. And that was before I had the mold test. So we got these tests back, the blood tests, and then the mold came in about 2 weeks later. Now I'm like, okay, I got it. Mold is causing your body to be in a state of chronic inflammation. Then right here, this A1C, this is a blood sugar marker. Down here, you see pre-diabetic is anywhere between 5.7 and 6.4. So what do we know right now? We know that she has mold. We know that she has yeast problems. We know that she has major inflammation in her body, causing her body to be basically sludge. And then on top of that, she's pre-diabetic. Now, you have to realize that she's a retired nurse. And none of this has ever been discovered, man. This is what's happening in today's society. What I do is a polytherapy approach, making sure like we investigate what's going on with your needs. I'm just the orchestra conductor, man. I'm just a conductor. I do all these different lab tests, and then we get your lab and your body in harmony, moving you just like the conductor does. You think up there that he or she, the conductor, doesn't have a meaningful job. He or she is the orchestra. Without the conductor, the orchestra does not work. The conductor makes the music harmony. He or she makes the harmony the music. That's the same thing that my job is. I'm just the orchestra conductor, making sure that things move in the right direction. This is ferritin. I have a bunch of different videos on this. This is 212. You can see here anything above 150. The sweet spot on this is between 40 and 80. So what is ferritin? Ferritin is an iron storage marker, meaning that her organs are storing too much iron, and if you put your bike outside and let it rain, what happens? It rusts. So now we know that her inside organs are rusting. Chronic inflammation in her body is happening. And then we also checked fibrinogen, which is basically another inflammatory marker in the blood. You can see here it's 598, ranges right here. I like to see this around 250. So what do I want you to take away on this is at the end of the day, if you have problems, you can get better. You need a polytherapy approach. You need an individualized, custom tailored program that's going to do the correct lab testing to figure out what's going on. The labs are just the fishing net. You throw out the fishing net and then you reel it in and then you see what you have and then you go from there. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my station. And just remember, folks, is where there is help, there's hope. Take care. Bye-bye.